Hey, Brennan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got another 2025 rookie profile here for you today. We're going to talk Damien Martinez, going to be joined by Jason DiRienzo, and we're going to give you everything you need to know about Damien Martinez as a 2025 running back prospect. We've watched the All 22 film. We're going to break it all down for you. Enjoy the show. All right, Jason, let's get to our first 2025 rookie profile player of the evening. And I want to talk about Mr. Damien Martinez, 6', 232-pound running back headed to Miami. First two seasons, he was at Oregon State. This past year, he had a really nice season, 1,185 yards, 9 touchdowns. He did have 1 fumble, yards after contact. I'm reading some PFF notes, PFF grades here, 3.82, pretty solid, 57 missed tackles forced. Only had 11 receptions, probably something we'd like to see a little bit more of his receiving profile. Now, that may change at Miami. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, career production. You and I, we just watched his Colorado, Oregon, and UCLA games in all 22 film. We did a detailed breakdown of his Colorado game. So again, if you're a Dashboard subscriber, you have access to that. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can reach out to me after look at the show notes or on Twitter or whatever. But David Martinez, we watched the film. What were your overall, before we get to talking about tape grades, which we love to do when we profile these players, your overall scouting report? What are your thoughts on Damien Martinez?
I came away pretty impressed. I mean, one, we talked about it, I just didn't realize how the size. I didn't really know that he was over 230 pounds. Maybe I just forgot. I don't know. But when I was watching the film, not knowing that, one of the things that stood out, I expected a little bit. I expected a little bit more physicality at times. I think he just ran too high. Not that he's not physical. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that at times where he needed to lower his pads and really deliver a blow, he was just running a little bit too upright. We saw those upper body tackle attempts, succeed when they really shouldn't have. But he's very competitive. He's tenacious between the tackles, even if he does run a little bit high. The thickness in the lower body, I want to see a little bit more. I think the weight is pretty fairly well balanced between upper and lower body, so maybe get a little bit more thickness in those thighs. But I'll tell you, with the cutting ability, man, the fluid navigation and the movements for a guy of his size, it's instantaneous cuts. He's got a nice jump cut. I think his vision is good to above average based on what he sees and how he knows exactly how to elude and evade oncoming defenders and not lose his balance, not lose speed, keeps momentum going. He's got pretty decent speed to the perimeter. I don't think he's going to be a burner, but I came away pretty impressed with that. So overall, I think this is a guy who's definitely an NFL starter. I want to see just a little bit more functional play strength develop for him at Miami this upcoming season. And as a pass catcher, I think he's got to be used a little bit more in Miami as a pass catcher too. So this could be checking off some of the boxes that I want to see improvement in, with the transfer over and how he might be used in this offense. But overall, I came away really impressed.
Yeah, I did too. He's one of my favorite backs in the class after my summer scouting and watching a lot of these
Mhm.
running backs going to 2023. Can't really disagree. I think the only thing I would maybe challenge you on a little bit is the physicality and contact balance. I think I saw a good amount of that. There were plays in there with his pad level. He needed to get down and skinny, but I also saw plenty of plays where he was laying the lick and the contact balance was there. But I don't disagree with you. His lower half might get a little bit stronger, but he's got another whole season. He will be a true junior next year, so whether he declares or not will remains to be seen. But great opportunity. I just really like running backs that have good feet and lateral ability. I think all running backs have the ability to get stronger and get more physical as they get more comfortable. But like you said, I think his vision is above average as well, and he seems to have the fluidity, agility, and footwork that at least are the baseline grades that I look for in a running back. So his
Mhm.
receiving profile, we wish, maybe he would catch a little bit more balls. He only caught 4 balls as a freshman and only caught 11 last year. But like you'd said, in Miami, he may get more passing down there. And the breakaway long speed is something that I'm not sure he has, but it's 6', 232 pounds, I don't think really that's going to be his calling card anyway, given his
Mm.
size. He's not going to be a speed guy. As long as I think he's got, what did you think about his, well, we're going to get into it in our tape grades here, is his acceleration and speed. So let's get to our tape grades. We love to do this. We're going to go through, rank these 1 through 5. Vision and patience, the hallmark of any great back. You have to be able to see the field and navigate when things don't go your way. I gave him a 4.5. I liked his cutback ability. I thought he was patient. I liked the way he navigated. There were some things he left on the field when we did that film breakdown, but every running back, I think, runs into an issue where they don't see every play perfectly. But overall, I thought he has good vision and patience.
I think he makes quick decisions. I think he commits when he makes the decision. I give him a 4. I think he's definitely above average, especially for that size. I like the, we'll get into it, but I think the vision is definitely above average for sure.
All right, his footwork and short area quickness, I gave him a 4 as well. Saw some really nice cuts. I think he has some good short area quickness when he does redirect. He doesn't have to completely deaccelerate to make those changes, and seem pretty spry, kind of bursting out of those cuts a little bit. So I gave him a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I paused on my last statement because I was about to get into the footwork and short area quickness,
No
so I
worries,
didn't
man.
want to get too far ahead. But the reason I wanted to say that is because I think there's definitely synergy between what he's seeing and how quickly he responds to that with the fluid lateral agility and evasiveness that he has. I think this your sweet feet meter. I mean, he's definitely well above average. So I have him as a 4. I came away very impressed, especially for his size.
Great. Acceleration and speed, I gave him a 3.5. He's not going to win with long speed, but what we want with a back that's 630 something pounds is just at least some good acceleration coming out of breaks. When you see and make a decision and you want to make a cut, you want to hit the hole. How fast can you get to that hole and start creating space for yourself? So I gave him a 3.5. Not
Yeah, I
great,
think you
but
covered that.
above average.
Yeah, I gave him a 3.5 too, and I think you covered that perfectly.
All right, strength and contact balance, I gave him a 4. This is maybe where we'll disagree a little bit. Yes, this pad level at
Mhm.
times was high, but I thought also there were plays on the field where he really lowered his pads. He was dragging tacklers. So I gave him a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I give him a 3.5, and that's really just because of the high pad level at times. If he can shore that up, I feel really good about it.
His receiving profile, I gave him a 3. Again, just 15 receptions in 2 years. We're hoping more for dynasty players hitting our dynasty rosters, being a little bit more well-rounded. Love to see him get 15, 20 receptions in Miami this year would be nice. I gave
Yeah.
him a 3.
Yeah, I gave him a 3 too, and I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt that the pass catching is going to be there at Miami. I mean, he had 2 drops on the limited amount of receptions he had last year too, so that's not great. But I just feel like he has a great opportunity to improve that, so I'm giving him an average grade.
All right, so let's get to his draft capital. Right now, you can see the image on the screen if you're watching on YouTube that he is pick 114. So that puts him out of day 2 territory. But you can see the peak there was 82. I got him probably most likely a late day 2, early day 3 guy. But I think he if he has a really good season at Miami, I think he could be a late day 2 guy. I know it's a deep class. I have him higher ranked than most people right now, given what I've watched over the summer of the 2025 running backs. So I think he's a solid. I would say day 2 pick, round 3 is most likely where I'd see him come off the board. He won't be one of the first 2 or 3, but he won't be far behind either.
Honestly, he's the type of guy I would not be shocked if he's one of the biggest risers, come the NFL draft time. Just based on what we just watched, because there's so much to work with him.
Mhm.
I have him rounds 2 to 3. It would not shock me if he's a mid second round. I think he has that kind of potential if he puts it all together.
Great. So his player comp, I got Najee Harris. Similar size. Najee Harris he was so good at Alabama. Why? Can I ask you a question? Why is the shine? I know why the shine's coming off Najee Harris. He averages less than 4 yards a carry, I think, in 3 years with the Steelers. But man, he was so good coming out of Bama. I mean, he was the RB1 of that class, wasn't he? Wasn't he the RB1 of
Yeah,
that
he
class?
was. He was. I think he was the RB. I think, geez, I want to say he was one of the top ranked recruits in the entire class,
Yeah.
let alone being the RB1. I
I
think it's just the size mixed with the lateral agility and his lack of what he sees on the field, which
mm,
Martinez already looks more advanced from what I saw based on, what Harris has shown at the Steelers. So this
yeah.
could be good for Martinez.
But I guess from a play strength, from a physicality, the size, just the way he kind of runs with the ball, that was my comp. Who do you got a comp for? Who's your comp for?
I have Jay Ajayi. Coming
Nice.
out of Boise State, I see a lot of very similar skill set. That the cutting ability, the fluid movement. Jay Ajayi is a much better pass catcher from his time coming out, but I think Martinez can get there. So I see very similar skill sets, and it wouldn't surprise me if the success Jay Ajayi had early in his career, we see the same thing for Martinez.
Jay Ajayi, he'll always have a special place in my heart, being an Eagle for that run to the Super Bowl we
Oh,
had.
that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot about
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, is he a buy, sell, and a hold for you?
Oh, I'd be buying all day long.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm a
Yep.
buyer. In fact, I actually have a couple offers out now that I am patiently waiting for responses from. That's been like 4 or 5 days, and it's been crickets. So I
Gonna
just
bump those, man.
I know nothing drives me more crazy when you just never hear from somebody on a trade for like a week. But in any
Yeah.
case, there you guys go. Damien Martinez. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll give you a little better if you got shares. Be happy. I think he's going to be a solid NFL back in the draft next year.